Okay, guys, today is the last day that we're going to be writing and solving equations. So this is just strictly equations here, not necessarily inequalities, okay? But this is using some of our geometry concepts that we should have learned before, and it'll help you when we come to our geometry unit. Okay, so we want to talk about some angle measurements first. Some of the angle measurements we might see. Angle measures in triangles. Remember, all three angles in a triangle are going to add up to 180 degrees. So if you're adding all three angles, you always want it to equal 180. And then our isosceles triangles have two angles that are equal. The two angles that are opposite of the two sides that are equal are always equal. Okay, so if you have one angle marked on that isosceles triangle, the other angle across from there's another angle that's exactly that same measure. Okay, supplementary angles always add up to be 180 degrees, and complementary angles always add up to be 90 degrees. Good way to remember this is 90 degrees is a right angle, correct? And complements, when I compliment someone, it's the right thing to do. Okay, that's how I always learned it. Hopefully it helped you out. Okay, so when we're writing an equation, we want to determine what the angle should be set equal to. Is it a triangle? Do we want to set it to 180 degrees? Is it a supplementary angle? Do we want to set it to 180 degrees? Is it a complementary angle? Does it need to be set to 90 degrees? Okay, always know these. And then you add together all your known angles and then use a variable to replace the unknown angle. And usually that's given. Okay, so basically you're just going to add everything up that you have to equal what it should be, what the total amount should be. And then you solve just like we would a normal equation. Okay, so let's look at this example. Let me pull up on my screen. Okay, so when we look at this example, the measure of two angles of a triangle are shown below. So I have 50 degrees here and I have x degrees here. Write the equation to find the value of x. Okay, so look, these lines right here mean that these two sides are equal. So if these two sides are equal, that means these two angles across from these sides are equal as well, because that's an isosceles triangle, which means I'm going to have not 1x, but 2x. So I'm going to have x plus x, right? Because I have two of them. And then I need to add 50. Plus 50 is going to equal, all of the angles in a triangle should always equal 180 degrees. So if I have two x's, that means I have 2x plus 50, okay, equals 180. And then I want to solve. So we're solving. Okay, so we're going to solve just like it was. So what I do to this side, I want to do to this side. So remember, I always want to have an x value on this. I always want my variable, just my variable to be on this side. And I always want just my number to be on this side. Okay, so I always move the number that does not have the variable first. So that's plus 50. So I'm going to subtract 50 because 50 minus 50 is 0, and that's what I want. Okay, and I'm left with 2x on this side, so I'm going to bring 2x down here. And then 180 minus 50, 0 minus 0 is 0, 8 minus 5 is 3, and then 1. Okay, so we're left with 130 on this side. And then we're going to take that, whatever, if it's attached to the x like that, we're going to divide. Okay, and then we're left with x equals 130 divided by 2. So 2 goes into 130. 2 goes into 13, not quite 7 times, only 6, because 6 times 2 is 12. And then 2 goes into 10 5 times. So x equals 65 degrees. So my answer is 65 degrees. Okay, simple enough. Okay, so number 2, we're going to look at number 2. The sum of two angle measures x and y equals 90 degrees. Okay, so the sum of x plus the sum of y equals 90 degrees, because sum means we're adding them together. Okay, angle x, so what angle x is going to be 2x minus 5. So I'm going to put 2x minus 5 for angle x. Okay, and add it to angle y, which is 35 degrees. So 35 degrees. And that's going to still equal 90 degrees. Okay, and then we solve it. So I want to do minus 35 on both sides. Minus 35, minus 35. Borrow from the 9. 10 minus 5 is 5. 8 minus 3 is 5. Okay, and then I'm left with 2x minus 5 here. Okay, and then I have that plus 5 to get rid of that 5 plus 5. 55 plus 5 is 60, which would give me 2x left here, and then we divide by 2. And x would equal 30. Okay, so my x is just 30. It's not 30 degrees. It's just 30 because that's what it is. So the value of x would be 30. Sorry, guys. I was writing that without you knowing. Okay, we subtracted that because we do what's on the outside of the parentheses first. And then we add 5 on both to get rid of that 5. And then we divide by 2 to get rid of that 2. And then we're left with just x over here because 2 divided by 2 is 1. And then 60 divided by 2 is 30. Okay, and number 3, we've got one more. Number 3. Okay, the measure of the angles of a triangle are shown below. What is the value of x? So remember, we always add up all the angles. So I'm going to start with 54 plus 3x plus 4x minus 7. 4x minus 7. And they always equal what? 180 degrees. Okay, so let's see. 54. So I want to do what's outside of the parentheses first. So what you can do, like on the last one, I did it separately, but I can combine things that have similar things. So the 54 and the 7 can combine because they are both just numbers. There's no variable. So 54 minus 7. So we're going to do 54 minus 7, and I'm just going to write it like this so you know what we're doing. And then we're going to add that onto 33x and 4x because those are being added together. So we're going to do 3x plus 4x. Okay, and it still equals 180. So 54 minus 7. Let's see what 54 minus 7 is. 4, 14. 14 minus 7 is 7, and that's 4. So that's 47 plus 3x plus 4x is just 3 plus 4, which is 7x, equals 180 degrees. Okay, and now I'm going to solve it like normal. So I want to do the number without the x first. So that 7 is with an x. So I want to do 47. And this is like it's positive 47, right? So if that's positive 47, I want to subtract it because the 47 minus 47 is 0. Okay. So I'm left with 7x here. And then we're going to subtract. 10 minus 7 is 3. 7 minus 4 is 3. And that's a 1. And then we divide by 7 to get what the value of x is. So x is going to equal whatever 133 divided by 7 is. So let's check. Okay, 7 goes into 13 once because it's not quite 14. So that's going to be 7. 13 minus 7 is 6. I'm sorry, guys. And then 7 goes into 63 9 times because 9 times 7 is 63. Okay, and then that means x is 19. Okay, because that's what I got here. Okay, guys, let me hold on. If there's any questions about this, let me know. There's not going to be a lot of it on your test, so it's okay. But please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye.